Welcome everyone to the Vinyl Community Guncles. Once again, this video is an album review, and we'll be reviewing the album from Betty Davis called Nasty Gal. I'm Robert Fithen, along with Richard from Calvin Wazoo, Mike from Hubtunes, and Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora. Album review for Betty Davis with a Y, because otherwise you might get confused that it's the actress Betty Davis.
It's definitely not her.
No, no.
No.
Be a bumpy night. What a dump.
What a
All About Eve's a great movie. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
who's first?
I can start off. And what I'd love to say is thank you for suggesting this. I had never listened to, I had wanted to listen to Betty Davis, but I'd never listened to Betty Davis before. So this was the first time I had heard anything. And right from the start with the opening title track, I mean, it's got the funkiest bass line I think I've probably ever heard. It's just, and when she sings, "I'm going to let you have it," it's just her voice throughout many of the songs is just so guttural and just so intense. It just, I think about, Miles Davis and the videos that I've heard him speak and in his playing, and I think, wow, she is such a at least from the public side, she's like night and day, in terms of their personalities, but really, really good stuff. Fred Mills' vocals on a couple of those songs, like the next one, "Talking Trash," is, again, really good vocals going with that. And it's got that song too, "Talking Trash," has got a really great guitar group. I just really love that. "Dedicated to the Press," the next song, really, really good. "You and I," this is a song that there's some horns, a horn section, and Gil Evans is working with her, and he orchestrates the horn section, and then it's co-written with Miles. And you can definitely hear Miles playing his muted trumpet in there. It's a good song, but it felt out of place. I almost, because the rest of the album goes right back into the funk, and it just seemed, out of place. I would like to hear a record by her where she does more of that type of song. It's definitely more soul than funk, compared to me, at least with the other songs. Then there's "Feelings," which is very rock. I can kind of get a sense maybe where maybe Grand Funk was getting a similar sound from her, or they just independently, we're doing that kind of funk and rock groove. My favorite song is the song "Funk," Funk. It's got a nasty guitar riff that I really love, and there's some really good funky keyboards that are going on with that. The guitar is not flashy, but all of it together works so well and really puts the stank on the song. It just comes through really strong. It is my favorite track for sure on the whole album. "Getting Kicked Off, Having Fun" is more of a mellow funk, but it's still got that funk going on. "Shut Off the Light" is good. "This Is It," again, coming back really strong with the funky groove. And then the closer at the end, "Lone Ranger," has a kind of a spacey and almost psychedelic feel to it. And it blends really well the funk and the soul, and so that it fits with the album, unlike the song "You and I." "You and I" to me just really was, it just doesn't belong on the record to me. It belongs maybe, like I say, on a record where she's doing a record devoted to that. And maybe she does. I haven't listened to anything else. This is the first record that I've ever heard, and she's been on my list artists that I've wanted to investigate more, and I definitely will after listening to this. Um, because of that song, "You and I'm gonna rate it at 4.5 rainbows because it is a really good song. It just, to me, doesn't fit with the overall feel and groove of the record. But man, she's a nasty gal, and I like it.
Mm-hmm. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. It's a good thing I listened to these records more than once because the first this was going to be my first half a rainbow.
How
And then,
dare you?
how
What?
dare me? Let me continue, please.
Listen.
Let me continue because maybe I just wasn't feeling it when I first listened to it.
How?
There was seriously, I was not. There was nothing, but I said I'm going to listen to it again. There were a few moments that I was kind of like, okay, that's okay. That first listen, I have actually listened to it 4 times now, so I feel like that my rating that I'm giving is an honest one. Yeah, funky, 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 funky. Maybe sometimes a little too funky for me. Her voice at times can get almost obnoxious and reminds me of Nina Hagen, actually, at times. Just that thing. But it was when it got into like the slower ones, like You and I, and like getting kicked off, having fun. I really liked that one. I'd like to know who the fuck Connie is, though. She says, "Woo, I'm Connie." Who the fuck is Connie? Woo, I'm Connie. Yeah, she says that. Woo, I'm Connie. I'm just gonna keep saying
I
it
think
because
she's
I
saying
thought she was
something else,
Betty.
but okay.
What?
Yeah, I think she's saying something else.
Yeah.
No, she says, "Woo, I'm Connie." Listen to it.
You keep
Woo, I'm
saying it.
Connie. I will keep saying it. Woo, woo, I am Connie. Anyways, the talking trash, I like that. I'm yours. I'm over 21. Run your fingers through my bushy hair. Listen to that nasty right there, girl.
Nasty
I
girl.
do love me some nasty gals. Again, the You and I really liked it. The song "Feelings" I just thought was terrible, and I didn't want to hear it anymore. Funk is funky. It's fresh. I like the music. Like the beat. I know how to spell funk now because I did not know how to spell it until I heard the song because she tells me right in the beginning.
It's not spelled with a P.
I always thought it was spelled with a PH, and
It's not.
now I know it's not.
That
She
would
does
be
a
hard.
lot of name dropping though in this song. A lot. Everybody who even maybe had like every single person that maybe did a song at that time or had
She knew a lot of people.
yeah, she knew everybody. Yeah, that "Shut Off the Light" song. That is the one where the way she does her voice and kind of goes all over the place. Um, really where I was like, whose voice is this reminding me of? Fucking Nina Hagen. I guess Nina Hagen's voice is reminding me of. But I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one but that's really like that. I don't know. I don't know. And then the closer though, the Lone Ranger is seriously the best song on the record. Like I listened to this one over and over and over and over again. I mean, is it true you want to hi ho my silver? I mean, she is thirsty. She telling me she's thirsty. There's a lot of moaning going on. She moan. Ooh, and then that spacey, going ons in the end there. So I've always wanted to, because I've heard a lot of people talk about Miss Betty Davis with a Y, if you don't mind. And I've always wanted to hear her. And I actually did go back and listen to, I think it was her second album. I kind of liked that one a little better. Yeah, that one. Kind of liked that one a little. I didn't listen to the entire thing, but what I listened to, I kind of liked a little better. So it's far better than my half a rainbow initially, but
Outrageous.
It went
He was having a bad day.
it went up 3, so it went from half a rainbow to 3.5 rainbows, and I think that's pretty decent.
That's why you have to listen to records over and over. Absolutely. So
Thank you, because I never heard her.
Here it comes.
having a bad day, I would put this record on, and that would end the bad day because this is a funk masterpiece. I love this record. I have a couple of Betty Davis. I have her second album. What is it? They Say I'm Different.
I think that one is probably at least as good or better. I don't have that one though. I'm waiting to get an original. I don't know if that's.
Oh gosh, the original of this one is pretty expensive.
Well, I have an original.
Very
of this
expensive.
one.
Oh, God.
Do you really?
Yeah.
They're
A
very
generous
expensive original.
husband for a birthday gift giver.
They're very expensive, and I also have I have a comp. This comp is really good. The Columbia years 68 and 69.
Yeah,
Really
it's
good
a
comp.
comp,
I think
but it doesn't have anything in common with her other albums, so it's like
No.
basically a different album, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, nothing on here is on her second or third record. Yeah, it's really good, and what a great photo of her on there too. So I'm pretty familiar with, and I know Miles Davis. Obviously, she's credited for bringing Miles into the 70s and his electric period and his, more, no more suit and tie. It's going to be flashy colors. Obviously, she's big into fashion. Man, when you say, and I don't have this, and it was reissued a couple of years ago, and I for some reason I never picked it up. I dumb move on my part because this is the best one. Nasty Gal is the best of the first 3 records, and man, it's so awesome. Like I said, it's a funk masterpiece. The band is so tight throughout the whole thing. Richard kept saying the guitars. This could be called Nasty Guitars. I mean, there's great riffs throughout the whole thing. She's wonderful. You can feel her presence when you put this record on. It feels like she's in the room, as everyone said. But it's just wonderful. The You and I is the only flaw on the album. It doesn't belong.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful song. It's beautifully recorded. I love the Gil Evans stuff, and you definitely can hear Miles in there playing. It doesn't fit. Maybe put it on a Miles record, or like a funky electric Miles record or something. But it might not even fit there. It's just it's an anomaly of a song. It does not fit. But other than that, man, this is what funk is all about. I mean, if you want to hear a funk record, this is the one to buy. I give it 4.5 rainbows. I would give it 5 if it wasn't for You and I. It's just a masterpiece. It's brilliant.
I don't really know what else to say. I agree with 2 of you. Yeah, I mean, this is why it was so high on my birthday list, and I actually got an original of this with the lyrics in it and everything. I don't have the second one that Mike has, though. I want to get that at one point. And I have her self-titled on CD. I mean, I've heard it, I've streamed it, but I've got her self-titled on CD. That one is fantastic as well. I don't know which one I would say is better. They're all great. She's the same person in all of them. But yeah, I don't know what Too Funky is, other than a George Michael song. How is something too funky? This is, like you said, the nasty guitar, the guitar riff, and Talking Trash, and just the way that goes with everything. I mean, you guys have already said it. Everything just fits together so well. I mean, the guitar, the music, her whole persona here of a nasty gal getting down and dirty and funky and just completely unbridled, just almost over the top. I mean, but not, I mean, I don't know what over the top would be. I guess the cover might be a little over the top, but I mean, everything just works. It just does. I mean, I've heard so many things called super funky and nasty and down and dirty, and they're not. This is. If you want to hear something down and dirty, nasty, funky, whether it be her, the music, the guitars, the whole band, this is it. I mean, it's not going to get any funky or nasty, down and dirty than this, unless you start listening to, like stand-up comedy albums or something with like LaWanda Page or something. But I mean, I completely agree with both of you that You and I is the one thing that it's like, it not only does it not fit, it's not even, I don't even want to hear it, because after you hear this nasty, just getting down and funky with all this attitude, then she comes on and is like, I am a child. It's, whoa, you're not a child. Don't be a child. I don't want to, no.
Yeah, Robert doesn't like that.
Yeah, and so I'm still going to give it 5 rainbows, because I don't think there's any really perfect, where every song is stellar. But I'm not as harsh with my, I'm not as, not harsh is the wrong word. I'm not as, I don't know what the word is, but I'm not like with Mike. He only wants to do the 5 stars with like 2 albums. It's got to be absolutely perfect front to back. But other than that song, everything on here, FUNK. I usually don't like name dropping. There was a lot of that in country songs when I was in country radio, where people would be dropping these names of people like that had been dead before they were even a lot, like Johnny Cash and all this stuff, just try to get some credibility. But I think she's not really doing that. I think she's just saluting them. It's her contemporaries, and I think it's pretty unselfish of her to say that when there are people that are out the same time she is. I mean, Jimi Hendrix is an exception, but she's talking about Funkadelic and just all the Tina Turner and all these people, and she doesn't have to do that. And so, yeah, I think funk is great. Shut Off the Light. I mean, everything on here is great. Nasty Gal starts Talking Trash. This is her 3rd album at the time. I mean, the Columbia thing was released after all this. But Talking, the Dedicated to the Press is what I was saying. It's like, I'm assuming the press had been writing things about her, like she really is nasty. She's dirty. You don't like her. And
she did not get good press at the time.
Yeah, so this is her comeback to that, like, ooh, I'm sorry, I can't keep my tongue in my mouth. Ooh, big deal.
And from what I read, this album flopped, and it's kind of why she didn't.
I don't think
they all flopped. There's a great documentary. Yeah, they all flopped. But I feel like I discovered her before the big resurgence, and so it's one of those things where you guys probably have your own artists like that, where it's like, but she's mine. What do you? And now she's everybody's.
Yeah.
The second album is called I'm Not Like Everyone Else.
They Say I'm Different.
They Say I'm Different, right? Yeah. And there's a documentary called They Say I'm Different, which if you want to find out more about her, watch that. It's
really good.
It's not glamorous. It's not, it's the real deal. So be prepared. But yeah, I love it. 5 stars, 5 rainbows for Nasty Gal from Betty Davis.
I would listen to this if she wasn't even on it. Like, if this was an instrumental, I'd listen to that band play.
That's the thing. That band,
so fucking tight.
And it's not like it's hard playing or they're really doing like intricate things. It's just like they're in the lock and they just stay there for the whole song, and it's just wonderful. I mean, I love that kind of music. And it's a real band. It's not drum loops or it's not samples from the band, and 20 years later and that kind of thing. This is I was talking about R&B on the last video, and this is what I'm talking about. It's a real band. They're really feeling it. You can feel that you're feeling it. They're feeling it. It's all organic. It's all real. That's what I really love.
The keyboard player on FUNK was, I forgot to mention that. That really brings the combination of the funky guitar riffs and that keyboard. They're so simple but so intense.
Yeah,
it's just.
Can you imagine the party seeing them live?
But man, they put
Jesus, what a night that would be!
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man, a lot of beer and just
beer.
Dancing.
Okay.
Well,
you'd be drinking the beer. I'd be
Well, there'd be a lot of herbs.
I was gonna say malt liquor, but
yeah.
But yeah, what a party that would be.
Nose candy.
That too, I'm sure.
Good one. I'm glad you recommended this one for us to listen to, because
I'm gonna try
never
and
listened
find
to
a reissue.
Yeah, I've eventually got to get They Say I'm Different, even if it's just a CD.
Yeah, you can still get the reissue of this. I mean, that's.
How does it sound? I mean, it sounds great.
Great. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. It came out a few years ago. I don't know.
Well, I always sketch because I've gotten some that are just not. You might as well get a CD. You might not even a CD. You might as well stream it, because some of the reissues sound like streams put on a record. So I don't, and then I don't want to get rid of it because I get this whole thing. So I always want to make sure that it sounds
This has some pretty
Stellar.
good people on it, too. It's got Merle Saunders on electric piano, who played with Jerry Garcia Band for a long time. And it's got Buddy Miles on here, too.
Oh, wow.
This
I didn't even realize that.
I didn't realize it either until I just looked. But, yeah, I don't know what year this reissue came out. It wasn't long ago, maybe 3 or 4 years. It's 2007, so I guess it's been a while.
Oh, that's going to be expensive.
Light in the Attic did it, which I'm
Yeah.
guessing Light in the Attic did all of her reissues. But
Now it's time to find out what album we will be reviewing in just a while. It'll be a couple of weeks, but or maybe 3 weeks or whatever. We can
Oh, it'll be sometime around the lane, though. You're probably gonna hate it, but I don't care. I want you to know more than Loveful. So we're gonna listen to the Cardigans' 1998 album Gran Turismo.
Aren't they more of like a punkish type?
I mean, ish. That I feel like so many of their songs sound completely different. It's hard to categorize them.
Oh, I thought they were like anarchists that. Oh, wait a minute. I'm thinking of Chumbawamba. Never mind.
No, this is not Chumbawamba. This is the Cardigans.
Well, Chumbawamba is like that, where the tub thumping apparently doesn't sound like their other.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, Loveful, like it's a good song, but there's so much more.
They
to
both
them.
start with
Nina,
a C, and
Nina is
you can
just
see how
so
I'd be confused.
freaking beautiful. So,
what's the album called?
It is called Gran Turismo. From
I'm on it.
98.
Yay!
Get off my lawn!
What about your lawn?
Get off my lawn!
No.
That's Gran Torino. That's similar.
That's Gran Turismo.
Oh, okay. Similars.
So join us next time when we'll be giving you our favorite Talking Heads albums, and then we'll do a review of the tops and bottoms of 1988, and eventually we'll get around to reviewing Gran Turismo from the Cardigans.
Yeah.
All kinds of fun stuff coming up from
Lots
the
of fun.
Vinyl Community Guncles. Won't you join us?
Be there or be square.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm Robert Fitton, along with
Richard at Calvin Wazoo.
Craig's Vinyl Plethora.
Might get Hub Tunes.
Thank you again so much for watching. Join us again next time for our artist review of the Talking Heads and our favorite albums from them.
It's gonna be fun.
There's 8 of them. Albums, not Talking Heads.
And 4
There's
of us.
5 of them and 4 of us. Or is there only 4 of them?
There were 4.
There's 5. 4?
No.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Night.
Thank you.
Good night.
I thought